Okay. How you doing, Erin?
I'm doing good. Jordan, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for today.
Yes.
I found one of those stories where I was like, oh, like this will be a nice little, short little episode. And
No such thing.
yeah, famous last words.
And then she found history.
Yeah. I only have, well, no, that's a lie. I was going to say, I only have 2 pages of history.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of my ghosts have like historical context.
Historical ghosts.
Yeah.
Is there any other kind?
But it's like half and half, I'd say.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. You all know why you're here. I'm not going to apologize anymore.
They're being forced to listen to this. I'm so sorry.
This podcast that was labeled history has too much history. All right. Anyway, so before we get started, you have something to show me.
I do. So I was listening to the West Virginia cryptids episode because after I speak, I just generally forget everything that I've said. And so I was listening to it and I had forgotten that I talked about sheep squatch being in the 90s and then that meaning I could probably find a sheep squatch pog or slammer or something. So obviously I had to look that up on Etsy.
Obviously.
Like a normal human does. So I could not find sheep squatch pogs, unfortunately. But I did find cryptid pogs. Mm-hmm. So this is on Etsy from someone named Patrick Bates. And I have this little set of 6 pogs.
Okay, so they're little cardboard discs. Okay. I've truly, I don't think I've ever actually seen a pog in real life.
Well, welcome to my childhood.
Oh, and he did the art too. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so he's done all the art, and he's sent like a bunch of little freebies along with it. There's also a bonus pog in this little card he sent, and this bonus pog has Mothman flying after the people in the car.
Incredible.
And then we've got some Mothman art and some other things, but then the pogs, I recognize some of them, but not all of them. So
yeah,
we start at the.
I've got the now I'm gonna forget their names, but the little White Walker things. They're like from New Mexico, right?
They're the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Fresno, that's right.
Which I had never heard of. So I tried to look into all of these.
And then Braxy.
There's Braxy.
And then, is that old? That's not Old Ned.
No, that's the Loch Ness Monster.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking North America.
Yeah.
And then obviously Mothman. Mm-hmm. And then the guys I did in my episode.
The Loveland Frogs.
Loveland, that's right. I was like, where was that? Loveland Frogs. But who's this guy? Who's singing?
He is whistling. So that is El Silbón. And he's the whistler, and his whole story is from Venezuela. And I didn't do like a deep dive or anything, but what little I read on Wikipedia, it'd be dark. So I was like, I'm just not going to share that one with the class. But I really liked the Fresno Nightcrawlers because their Wikipedia is so short, and it's like, basically they're like a pair of pants walking around.
Yeah,
and
truly.
So now I want to look into that. But yeah, so if you need any cryptid artwork, it's really good.
It is. It's beautiful, pen and ink type stuff.
Yeah, ink, and I think watercolor. But his name is Patrick Bates, and he's on Etsy, and it's Patrick without a K, so that should make it easier to find.
We'll post a picture.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
People know what these pogs look like.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
You are so welcome.
Okay, so to keep things moving, I am doing the story today, and I told you we're in California, but I didn't tell you what we're doing, right?
Correct.
All right. So we are going on another little tour today of the ghost town of Bodie, California.
Okay.
And I want to give a big old shout out to Janice Oberding. She wrote the Big Book of California Ghost Stories that I found at our library. And so I got a lot of this from her, and then, everywhere else on the internet.
Yeah.
YouTube. Actually, a lot of it was from, California government websites and, Bodie Foundation websites.
That's how the West Virginia one was. I got a lot of stuff from all their, tourism.
Yeah. So I'll call that pretty official. Yeah. Okay, so.
As much as one can trust the government.
Good point, yeah. Okay, so to jump right into it, with the history. So W.S. Bodie, and I want to specify that it's spelled Bodey.
Okay.
Okay. W.S. Bodie was born in 1814 in Poughkeepsie, New York. Okay. Not sure of his real name. 1850 census lists a Wakeman T. Bodie of his age with a wife named Sarah.
Okay.
But his grave marker in California lists his name as Waterman S. Bodie.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how much, if you've done your own like family history and stuff, but
I have not.
as someone who had family members who immigrated 100 years ago, they didn't give a shit about spelling.
Oh, for sure. For
government
sure.
records.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is what it sounds like. I'm going to put it like
Close
that.
enough.
Yeah. So who knows what his actual name was. But he worked as a skilled tinsmith. But at the age of 34, they got word of the 1848 California gold rush.
I have heard of it.
So old W.S., he thirsts for adventure. And so he packs up to sail alone on the Matthew Vassar. I don't know how you say that, but it was a ship. Landing in San Francisco in 1849. He wrote regularly to his wife Sarah and their 2 children for the next 10 years.
10 years?
10 years. Though he didn't face much success in gold mining.
Jesus.
Until July 20th, 1859, when he and his prospecting partner discovered gold north of Mono Lake, which is east of the Sierra Nevada mountains and literally only just a couple miles from the California-Nevada border.
Okay.
It's right on the edge. Unfortunately, his good luck didn't last long, though. 10 years after embarking on his adventure and only 4 months after finding what he searched for, Bodie froze to death in November of 1859 when a blizzard struck while on a supply run to Monoville. His body wasn't recovered until the spring.
Yikes.
The resulting town and area was named after him, obviously. Like I said, spelling was pretty loose in those days. And correspondents saw the name as Bodie, spelled correctly, spelled like body, and eventually landed on what it is today, Bodie.
Okay.
When a sign maker labeled a local barn spelled that way, it officially stuck.
Yeah.
Because it was now in writing.
Eventually, one of them's going to stick.
Yeah. So, the mine remained relatively small in the 1860s because of the popularity of the mines in nearby Aurora, Nevada, and Virginia City. But in 1875, ironically, a cave-in revealed a new vein, which was then purchased by the Bunker Hill Mine, which was later renamed to the Standard Mining Company, in 1877. So the town boomed. A lot of these numbers, literally every single website has different numbers. Yeah. I averaged a lot of things. Okay, please give me some grace.
You're gonna see a theme in my next story too.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I'm ballparking.
Also, a lot of people were just throwing out like money amounts, but not saying if it was
today money or
exactly. So, give me some grace.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But between 1877 and 1882, more than 8,000 people lived in Bodie among 2,000 buildings. Over 20 years, an estimated 10,000 tons of gold and silver were mined.
Ooh.
It was one of the most profitable mines of the gold rush.
Yeah.
More than $15 million earned from that. In 2024 money is about $85 million. But I saw some site, like I pulled out an inflation calculator and it was like, no, it was closer to like 500 million.
Well,
so,
when you said 84, I was like, that feels, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to turn down $84 million. Like, I'm sorry, that's a little too low for me, but that seemed low.
Well, one of the government sites said that, I think it was the year 1881 was its most profitable. And that was over 3 million just that one year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was in 1881
then,
money. Yeah. So I went with the conservative number, but it was probably more.
Probably more. Yep.
So the town had a Wells Fargo bank, 4 volunteer fire companies, 3 breweries, a brass band, a railroad, multiple unions, both for miners and mechanics, several newspapers, a telegraph line, and at least 65 saloons and dance halls. Main Street alone was a mile long, and one source said that every other building was a saloon.
Amazing.
There was also a large Chinatown with a Taoist temple.
Oh, wow.
Multiple opium dens, laundries, gambling halls, and several hundred occupants. For the most part, both populations were segregated.
Yeah.
Bodie had a reputation as a lawless Wild West gold mining boomtown.
Hell yeah.
Stagecoach robberies, gunfights, and bar fights were regular occurrences. And this is important to mention. The indigenous Northern Paiute and Mono Lake Paiute peoples were either displaced from their territory or forced to assimilate.
Of course.
Many who stayed found jobs in the lime kiln at Mono Lake or took service jobs in the new businesses or on ranches. So I didn't want to give the impression that this was just empty land before
for
these
sure.
people came.
I assume that about literally everywhere in America. I'm just going to assume that there were Native Americans there.
Yeah. So that would be the Paiute people.
Yes. And then we, white people show up and pretend we found it.
Yeah. Civilized it by cutting down all of the wood and destroying the ecosystem and killing all the animals.
Bringing in some cows, etc.
Yeah. Anyway, in 1881, the boom ended and the slow decline began. The single men who made up the majority of prospectors were quick to move wherever the newest promising vein had been discovered. So something cool, though, was that the Standard Company built a hydroelectric plant in 1892, 13 miles away at Dynamo Pond. It sent 3,530 volts of AC power to the 20-stamp mill at Bodie, making it the first long-distance transmission of power in the country.
That is impressive.
I didn't write it down, but I think that's something like 130 horsepower, something like that.
That's a lot of horses.
Yeah, especially across 13 miles all at once.
Yeah.
I also did not write this down, but because I looked it up, a stamp mill is an important thing for mining. It's like basically you feed what you have mined into it and it literally stamps it, like compresses it, crushes it.
So it's not just like dust, basically. That makes sense. It's how you get your walking around gold.
Yeah. So Bodie had a couple of stamp mills, but that went to the big 20 stamp one. Okay, the decline was sped along by fires in 1892 and 1932 that ravaged the town, eventually leaving fewer than 200 remaining structures.
And it was 2,000?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
10% remaining. The Standard mines officially closed in 1913, and all mining ended in 1942 due to the federal order against non-essential gold mines during the war.
That makes sense.
The same year, the post office closed, and by 1915, it was already being referred to as a ghost town.
They move fast.
Yeah. People were still living there at the time.
Yeah.
The railroad was abandoned in 1917, and in 1920, the federal census recorded a population of only 120.
Yeah. Nothing.
Now, kind of the good news of this is that the difficult access to the town kept it from being a popular spot to squatters and vandals. But some still came to damage the abandoned buildings.
For sure.
So the majority of the property, which I think is something like 9,000 acres, was owned by the Kane family, who hired caretakers to maintain the buildings. By 1943, Bodie only had 3 remaining residents, one of which was Martin Giantinati. It's Italian, I don't know. And he worked as a caretaker for the property. So from then until 1962, the Kane family worked with the state of California. And then in 1962, the remains of the town, at that time about 170 structures, were named a state historic park and a national historic landmark. For those who know something about preservation, I thought this was interesting. The site is kept in a state of arrested decay, which basically means that the buildings can be repaired so far as what keeps further damage from occurring.
But not fully, like, refurbished.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, after 1962, if there were a hole in a roof, you could fix the roof. Or, like, if a window broke, you could fix that window. But nothing could be done to reverse existing damage. And the term arrested decay was coined by the state of California for Bodie.
Oh.
But it's a method used around the world at historically prominent sites. So they use photos from 1962 to ensure that it stays as it was when it was named a park.
That makes sense.
So I thought that was interesting. In 1994, the Bodie Protection Act was passed, keeping mining operations from reopening on Bodie's public lands, and the park is now largely run by the Bodie Foundation. It is open year-round, though the roads are closed when it snows, as the town is then only accessible by ski or snowshoe.
I mean, the guy died there in a
Yeah.
blizzard, so that tracks.
Yeah. The road that you have to take there off the highway is several miles long, and the last 3 miles of it is just graded dirt.
Oh, that's not for me.
So take a good vehicle and go when the weather's good. The elevation is 8,379 feet above seawater, sea level.
I mean, sea
You know,
water is there
yeah.
with the sea level.
Whatever
so-
that term is.
The sea.
And it's actually a subarctic climate, which is mostly, like on par with northern Russia.
Okay.
So that's how high it is in elevation and
Wow.
what it suffers. Wind speeds because it's on basically like a mountain basin on like a plateau. Wind speeds can reach up to 100 miles an hour.
Too many.
And snowfall can get up to 6 feet with drifts reaching 20 feet.
Again, too many. Too many feet.
And then imagine living here in 1880.
No.
You don't got a snowblower.
No, thank you. I am good.
So there are multiple kinds of tours offered, both guided and self-tours, though be warned that the only plumbing is in the bathrooms by the parking lot.
So we holding it.
There is no new structures, no place to get food, no anything. You truly drive out there to the ghost town.
It's like no Wi-Fi.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Suffer.
How many people do you think go there and then are like fully taken aback? Like, what? There's,
I feel like if you're going to a ghost town, you're the kind of person, like if you're making that trek out there, you're the kind of person who's not going to expect to have Wi-Fi.
No, there's a lot of stupid people.
Yeah, you're right.
I envision somebody going out there to like do some, TikTok whatever. And
I mean, there is like a museum building by the parking lot on the edge. So like maybe there's Wi-Fi in there. I don't know.
I also like to read like 1-star park reviews where people are like, Grand Canyon, there's nothing to do here or whatever. So
Just a bunch of rocks.
Yeah, those are the people I'm picturing.
Yeah, that's fair. Or like have you seen those Mammoth Cave reviews?
Yes.
It's too dark down there.
It's too dark in this underground cave.
Oh, God. Okay. It's California's official state ghost town.
I was hoping that was how that sentence would end.
Yep.
And you did not disappoint. Amazing.
I thought that was so fun that they have an official state ghost town.
I feel a little bad for the other ghost towns who
but this
lost
is the best
out.
one.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess they're really just thankful to have been nominated, et cetera, but it's gotta hurt.
Yeah. I think Bodie earned it, though, being so remote.
Yeah.
In a practical way and also just in an emotional way.
You have our support, Bodie. You are also our official California state ghost town.
Yes, in my heart. Yeah. Okay, so it sees about 200,000 visitors a year. And the roughly 150 buildings that still stand are left exactly as they were when they were abandoned. All furniture, belongings, and goods left behind. The museum is basically a walk-through time capsule of 60 years of Wild West history.
So like jugs with XXX on them.
Literally,
Yes.
it like in the saloon, there's still like chips on the tables
spittoons
and bottles on the counter.
That's wild.
Yeah. Because like when people left, when they eventually moved, anything they wanted to take with them, they had to like mule train through the mountains. So they didn't take everything, just what they needed. So some of the buildings you can go in, some of them you can just like walk by outside and like look in the windows and stuff. But yeah, so that's a nice little overview of Bodie. Mm-hmm. And now we can get directly into the ghosts.
Yes.
So I do have some trigger warnings for these stories. It's the Wild West. What do you expect?
Yeah.
So trigger warnings for suicide, overdose, and child death. Okay, so we're going to start off with Miss Eleanor Dumont. Mm-hmm. So born around 1829 as Simone Jules, possibly in New Orleans to Creole parents, but we're not sure. She was a notorious gambler during the gold rush. There's several websites about her. She's a very prominent figure.
Good for her.
At one point, she traveled around with Calamity Jane. So she's like a historical figure.
Yeah, she's legit.
So she traveled around the West, including California, South Dakota, Montana, and Arizona. If money and sin flowed, she followed, playing in towns like Deadwood and Tombstone. Mm-hmm. But, important to say, she was a lady, okay? Mm-hmm. So she opened her own gambling halls, not allowing any other women in. She was the only woman on the premises. And she worked them herself, so the novelty of a female dealer earned her much business.
Oh, for sure.
In doing so, she built a reputation as being extremely fair. Mm-hmm. So, like, she would take all of your money, but you knew she was being honest when she earned it.
She wasn't cheating you.
Yeah. Not that anybody ever proved.
Yeah.
I did see one story where a guy, he, like, had a written account about his experience with her. And it was, like, pretty far into her career, but she had 2 huge bouncers on either side of him. And he had $200.
Ooh.
And he was like, I'm not leaving this table until you have all of my money or I have some of yours. And he lost all of his $200. And then she was like, well, thank you for your time. Let me get you a drink. And he's obviously upset. So he's like, no, I don't need a drink. And she's like, Monsieur, sit for a drink. And like he's like, I had a pistol on me, but I couldn't take on those 2 bouncers. So I sat down, and then he gets served a glass of milk. And she's being like totally serious and like stately and like a lady. Mm-hmm. And he said, but she had this mischievous glint in her eye. And he found out later that was basically like her calling card to people that she just destroyed.
Here's some milk.
Yeah,
you are a child.
Get them a glass of milk. So she was a character. We'll put it that way.
That is just an absolute like baller move. Mm-hmm. Got you this milk.
It's so insulting.
Now drink it.
So she was also a French beauty, which she leaned into with a name change to Eleanor Dumont. So sometime in the 1850s, she started to grow a fine line of hair across her upper lip, which earned her the nickname Madame Mustache.
Nice.
Which she appeared to lean into.
I mean,
Yeah.
When you're that good at what you do, like, who gives a shit?
Like, I think she was at the level where men had to kind of poke fun where they could because they were forced to respect her in every other way. Yeah. You know?
She's like, I'll give you this.
Yeah.
I could take care of this, but I'll let you have it.
Yeah. Okay. And then in the 1860s, she started to open brothels in the cities that she gambled in.
I bet women were allowed there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she gained business by dressing her ladies up in their best clothes and then parading them around in the daylight, which did not help her standing among the society women.
Oh, for sure.
But earned plenty of attention from the society men.
Yeah, we don't care about those society women. That's not who we're after.
No, she got what she wanted. She got that business. So over the years, her business exploits, some succeeded, some failed. She had ups and downs, blah, blah, blah. But she definitely made a name for herself.
Yeah.
In 1870, she bought a ranch in Nevada and married Jack McKnight. However, it was a marriage scam, and he took all of her money and ran in
No.
1872. Yep.
She got all that money just to have some motherfucker take it.
So she continued to travel until September 7th, 1879.
Okay.
She had made it to Bodie the previous year, and on this night, she played the night away as usual in the Magnolia Saloon. She had hit an unusual string of bad luck, though, and was forced to find a backer for $300.
Ooh.
Would you like to guess how much that is in today's money?
In 1879, $300. I'm gonna say like $20,000. I don't know.
$10,000.
I was so close.
One night of gambling.
Oh my God.
So she was forced to find a backer to continue playing, and she ended the night deeply in debt.
Oh no.
Yeah, lost it all. According to multiple sources, without saying a word to anybody, she just wandered outside and then just started walking. Mm-hmm. She just started walking out of town. And the newspaper reported her body was found the next morning.
Oh.
Quote, about 100 yards from the Bridgeport Road, a mile from town. End quote. She had no signs of trauma, but was found with a bottle that smelled of morphine. So her death was ruled a suicide by overdose. Mm-hmm. A couple sources said that she had a note that said, I'm tired of it all or whatever. But that might have just been embellishment because I don't know what she would have been writing with.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
She would have had to have, had that in her pocket ready to go.
Yeah.
Which she might have, but...
Or just walking around after gambling with a
fountain pen.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. She may have had a note, may have not. The newspaper basically said it was expected luck for someone with her history, but did make sure to grant that she, quote, bore a character for virtue possessed by few in her line, end quote. She was buried at the Bodie Cemetery, though not with the people of polite society.
Of course not.
Her funeral was reportedly the largest in Bodie history, with gamblers coming from all around to pay respects.
Wow.
She was a bigwig back then.
I mean, like you said, she took their money, but she did it honestly, quote unquote.
Yep. She gave them a good time.
Yeah.
So today, her ghost can be seen at twilight, walking along the Bridgeport Road once again. She doesn't appear as she did on that final night, though. She's once again young and no longer sports her signature mustache. It's the same road that visitors must take to enter and leave the park. If you wait until the end of the day to head home, you might just catch a glimpse of her walking by on your way back to the modern world.
Ooh.
Okay, so the first building that we have here on our little tour is the Mendocini House, which is reportedly home to residual hauntings from, of course, the Mendocini family.
That tracks.
So people inside or passing by outside can smell the distinct aroma of Italian food.
Yeah.
Remember, this is in the middle of bumfuck nowhere desert. And they specify that it's heavy on the garlic. Fresh garlic.
It should be delicious.
So, that's the kind of haunting that I would want to experience.
Oh, for sure. Except it would also drive me a little bit where is that garlic coming from? Does anyone else smell garlic?
I feel like I experience stuff like that all the time, though. Does anybody else smell this weird thing? Is that just me? And then I couldn't find a clear answer as to whether the family just liked to host dinner parties or if they operated a little restaurant out of their home. But people can hear the sound of dinner guests and children laughing and talking.
Could also just be, your sort of stereotypical big Italian family dinners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
So these experiences sometimes follow tourists until they get back to their car to leave.
Oh, they're trying to get you to come in. Come in, your skin and bones. Have some
That's what
spaghetti.
Yeah, my next note is they seem friendly and attach themselves to good vibes.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
I thought that was cute.
They want to keep the party going.
Yeah.
I like that.
Lord knows that Bodie needs some of that good
For
energy.
For sure.
The next one is the Deschambault Hotel, and it's just a tiny one that in the upper story of the hotel, which is on Main Street, a woman is seen peeking through the curtains. But that's all I have on that. Yeah. Don't know who it is. Okay, so the next is the J.S. Kane House. James Stewart Kane came to Bodie when he was 25, and along with a partner, took out a lease on a mine from the Standard Company.
Okay.
They mined $90,000 in gold in the first 90 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But when the lease expired, the Standard would not let them renew.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we're going to take that back.
No, this is ours. We need this.
So Kane took his money and invested in bringing lumber and wood to Bodie, which wound up being one of the most important industries for the town. Because not only was lumber needed for buildings and fires, but also they needed timbers to shore up the mine tunnels.
Yeah.
And where they were in the desert, there was no wood.
Yeah.
They had cut it all down in the very beginning.
Yeah, short-sighted. I feel very primed for this whole conversation because last week for our weekly movie night, my husband picked The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, which is all about gold mining. So I'm like, I feel like an expert now. Just ask me anything.
In the zone for it.
Yeah.
Well, you need to make him listen to this.
I'll try.
So he became one of the richest men in town, and his family wound up owning most of Bodie.
Yeah.
Remember I said the Kane family?
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you said Kane, I was like, I'm pretty sure she said that earlier.
Yep.
Because I thought of a joke for Caroline, which is that Dean Kane?
I don't know who that is. I'll leave it in here for Caroline, though.
I appreciate that.
Okay. So the house isn't very big compared to what we would assume is wealthy today, but it's in good shape, and from the pictures, the interior is really nice, and it's well furnished. One of the front rooms has a full wall of floor-to-ceiling windows, which is actually a glassed-in porch.
Oh, okay. Like a sunroom situation.
Yeah, and I feel like back then, like, if you had glass windows, that was a sign of wealth.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I think, it's not going to be like a McMansion or something that we see today, but like top of the line stuff.
For sure. So the first ghost actually resides there. Nobody knows who she is, but an old woman can be spotted using a rocking chair that still sits in the porch. Which seems like a peaceful way to spend your afterlife.
Yeah, you're just watching the world, rocking away.
So another elderly woman is seen in the upstairs bedroom. If she's the wife of the builder of the home, Jessie McGrath, then that makes sense because she died in the room.
Oh.
And apparently she just shows up in there and she's like this old stern-looking lady in a little frock.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, okay.
Hello.
The most active spirit of the Kane house is a beautiful young Chinese housekeeper. As the story goes, Mr. Kane and she had an affair.
Oh, of course.
Nobody's surprised.
Yep.
Mrs. Kane found them out and fired the housekeeper. When word got out of the illicit behavior, she was shunned from those in Chinatown and obviously was not going to be hired by any other household where a woman had to keep her husband faithful.
Yeah. Because I'm sure she was, it was totally her idea. He didn't pressure her at all. And she didn't feel that power dynamic. No.
He was forgiven. She was
not.
So, unfortunately, she did poison herself, but never truly left her former lover/employer's home. Though her spirit is described as angry, she has a soft spot for children.
Nice.
She can't tolerate adults, though, and when staff try to sleep overnight... When staff try to sleep overnight in the home, she's attacked them by allegedly sitting on them.
I'm imagining the tiniest little woman, like.
I think somebody described her as plump. So
okay.
That's the only descriptor I had. But one woman described it as waking up and feeling like she was being crushed. Oh, God. And she fought off the feeling until she fell on the floor.
Oh my God.
Rolling around with this ghost.
He sits on them. Yeah.
She also opens and slams doors in the home.
That's how you know she's coming to sit on you.
Can you imagine, laying in bed? First off, you're spending the night in a ghost town.
Yeah. In a ghost house.
Yeah. You're laying in bed, and all of a sudden the door slams open, and this weight just crushes you.
Yeah.
Good night.
No. I'm at minimum peeing in that bed.
I wonder if the bed is original, because all the furniture is. I wonder if they at least let them update the mattress.
Well, I would think. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think that they would want them sleeping on like the original, right?
I don't know.
Maybe it's like some really like
Some museums
crappy
are weird. I don't
cot
know.
situation or
Maybe.
something.
I don't know. We'll have to go and find out. If I ever go to California, I'm going to find this place.
But I'm not sleeping there.
As far
Ma'am,
as they know.
please don't sit on me.
Okay, so moving on. I believe the name is pronounced Joel. It might be Joel. I don't know. It's in Dutch. Johl.
I don't know. I would believe like a Yule situation, but
I'm going to say Joel, and anybody can yell at me if they
Yeah.
want. So the Joel house is on Main Street, once an opulent 5-room home owned by the wealthy butcher of Bodie, Eli Joel. The story starts on the no longer visible Bonanza Street, which was colloquially called Virgin Alley or Maiden Lane, home to Bodie's brothels. Little tongue-in-cheek there.
oh, silly gooses back then.
So a young woman named Lottie came to work at the High Grade, a top brothel, after fleeing from an unhappy marriage, but the stigma of the divorce stayed with her.
Of course.
She was fully aware of her station.
Yeah.
So despite her past and current profession, she caught the eye of Eli, and he fell in love with her.
Oh.
And it took a while, but he gifted her his attention and expensive gifts, and eventually she returned his feelings against her better judgment. He had an extremely healthy and stable income, along with his business partner, Charles Donnelly, as the men who provided meat to the citizens of Bodie.
Yeah.
So she couldn't have chosen a better match in the town, and he was fully faithful to her. This was no Cinderella, though.
Uh-oh.
The polite society of this lawless town was outraged that a woman of her standing was made an honest woman by that eligible bachelor.
Boo.
And Charles Donnelly's wife, Annie Donnelly, led a crusade that made sure that Lottie Joel couldn't doubt her place.
That, like, ma'am, get a job. I mean, it's the 1800s, like, you basically can't, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Gossiping is her job.
And, yeah, it's a full-time one.
So it started with their wedding, which they had to celebrate alone in their home when not a single guest showed up.
Oh, I want to cry.
Yeah, this is a really sad story.
Oh,
Yeah. But the couple decided that they only needed each other and persevered.
yay. Yeah, fuck all y'all.
Yeah. You don't want those bitches for friends anyway.
That's right.
So Eli continued working at his shop, and Lottie kept the home and stayed alone during the day, eventually taking up painting. And I think one of her paintings is actually in the museum there.
Oh, cool.
It all came to a head one night when it was announced that Bodie would be hosting a costume masquerade ball with a prize for the winner. So Eli convinced Lottie that she could win, wining and dining the other townspeople, showing them her true kindness and grace, while they would have no idea that it was the woman that they scorned.
Oh.
Not a bad idea.
Sneaky.
You understand
Yeah.
where his head was at.
Yeah, for sure.
So the couple prepared her a beautiful white gown of satin, complete with pearls. It was agreed that she would attend alone, so that nobody would see Eli and realize that they were
Yeah.
together, or assume that he had come with his wife somewhere in the crowd. The plan seemed to work, and the partygoers fell in love with the mysterious belle of the ball. By the end of the night, it was announced that she had won the costume contest with her white ball gown. But when she removed her mask, the scorn immediately returned, and she was rebuked for deceiving them.
I'm sorry, deceiving people at a masquerade ball.
Yeah.
I can't believe you showed up to this costume party dressed as someone other than yourself.
How dare you?
I don't know who you think you are.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So she races home in tears
Oh.
and swore that she would never attempt to gain their favor again. Years passed in this way. Where truly she's just alone in their home. And thank God she has Eli.
Yeah.
Until one night, Lottie fell ill.
Uh-oh.
So Eli called for the doctor, who said that she only needed some rest and a simple prescription. It's nothing serious. She's going to be
opium or something.
So Eli immediately goes to the pharmacist with the prescription to get his wife's medicine. He returns, gives it to her. She takes it, but within hours, she was dead.
Uh-oh.
So gossip spread that she had killed herself, but Eli knew that that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So he ordered an autopsy, and the truth came out. The pharmacist had mixed up the prescription, and instead of giving her a dose of medicine, he'd poisoned her.
Oh, shit.
There was nothing to be done to prove it wasn't an honest mistake.
See, I was thinking, like, is he knows it's for her, and is he, like...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That would be quite a commitment to that grudge, you know. Well, guess what? I killed her. Like,
yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it probably was a mistake, but, oh...
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe he didn't think she would take too much and was like, oh, I'm just going to make her...
Yeah, make her,
ill.
like, have diarrhea or whatever.
Yeah. Or maybe he just really wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't know. So even in death, the people of Bodie tried to scorn her by burying her outside of the fence of the cemetery with the other prostitutes. But Eli fought back for the honor of his wife.
Yeah.
And eventually enough citizens took pity on him, or perhaps felt guilty for how they treated her.
Yeah.
So she was permitted to be buried within the limits of the cemetery, but not in the plot where he would eventually lay among the other wealthy business owners of Bodie. They buried her a distance away from themselves, just how they'd kept her in life.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not, but you live in fucking Bodie, California. Like, you're not, you know, at Manhattan or whatever. Like,
yeah,
you're not that fancy.
But, I mean, it was, at its height, it was a town of 10,000 people, and they were making millions of dollars a year in gold.
I don't know. You're still...
I'm agreeing with you,
yeah.
I understand why they thought they were hot shit.
Yeah, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like...
You're still getting snowed in by 6 feet of snow every winter.
Yeah. And 20-foot drifts.
Yeah.
So, suck on that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
How smart can you be?
Yeah. If you're so smart,
somebody
move.
Somebody in Finland is going to listen to this and get angry.
We apologize. Finland, you're built for that. This is America.
This
We're
is
not.
California.
Yeah.
Okay, so these days her ghost can be seen walking through the streets in her white satin gown.
Aww.
It's certainly not anything a tourist would wear to the park.
Yeah.
So she stands out. And Janice Oberding, the author of this book I was reading, had her own experience with Lottie.
Ooh.
She and her husband were touring the Yoles home on Main Street and saw her sitting at the sewing machine that still stands in the house. She was so lifelike that they thought that she was a docent of the museum. They looked at each other and she even nodded to them before they left the room.
Aww.
And then they found out later that they didn't have docents.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, if we go and we see her, I'm gonna do like a little heart with my hands. I just need her to know, like,
I love you.
We love you. You're way better than them, and probably way hotter, and
a better painter than Annie ever was.
Yeah, Annie probably doesn't even know which end of the brush to use.
Bitch.
What a dumb bitch.
Okay, now on to the child death portion. I didn't know a good way to segue into this. There's no good way to segue.
I mean, yeah, there's not really.
I'm just going to read what I wrote.
Yeah.
Okay, most residents, or those unlucky enough to have met their end in Bodie, were buried in the Bodie Cemetery on the edge of town. Residents of Chinatown, or other undesirables, like criminals or prostitutes, were buried outside of the fence of the cemetery.
Of course.
Yeah, because that's what matters when you're dead.
I was just thinking that,
the ground you get put into.
Yeah, let's maintain all forms of segregation when you're just a corpse. Like, it matters.
Hate takes more energy than...
It does.
We've talked about this. It's stupid.
It is.
So one of, if not the most famous grave in the cemetery is a small white marker that features a cherub leaning on a headstone. The Angel of Bodie, it belongs to Evelyn Myers, who was killed only a month before her 3rd birthday in 1897. The story goes, there's a couple different versions, but the most official one I could find with like newspaper stuff was that she was playing outside with her father one winter, and the porch was icy, and her parents had paid a local man to come clear a path through the ice so that they could safely walk to the road. He, obviously, from a mining town, was using a pickaxe to break up the ice. And what resulted was an unfortunate coincidence of bad timing. Yeah, you know where this is going.
I'm afraid I do.
As her father swung her around himself in the yard, the worker swung his pickaxe over his head to bring it down on the ice. It struck her in the head.
Oh, fuck, that is not where I thought this was going.
Yeah, and she passed 3 days later.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like she like fell through their porch or something,
No.
like because he like accidentally hit it. Oh, that is so much worse.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Some things say that she died instantly. Mm-hmm. Some say it took a couple days.
Either way.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the whole town was devastated by, the horrible nature of it. And so they actually all pitched in to get the grave marker, get a guardian angel over her. Today, her spirit can be seen around the town, made obvious by her age and her golden hair. Mm-hmm. She's most often seen in the cemetery, though, hiding among the grave markers and playing with the children of tourists who come to visit. Okay, so the final part of the story of Bodie is the curse of Bodie.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, reading about the park on the official websites, I noticed how many places they emphasize that it's illegal to take anything with you. Mm-hmm. Plant, rock, or artifact. Yeah. Anything on the grounds.
Leave nothing but footprints. Take nothing but pictures.
Yep. So, everything about Bodie is protected. Mm-hmm. And the California State Park website specifically mentions, quote, "When items are taken and later sent back to the park, it is often difficult to prove the item came from Bodie, and the item may never truly be returned to Bodie or the location it came from.
Yeah.
Processing these returned artifacts is also time-consuming for staff and takes away from the other work that needs to be done." Mm-hmm. End quote. That stuck out to me, and I later learned that the streets are littered with square-headed nails, pottery shards, and other little bits of relics. Mm-hmm. And they want people to take a leave-no-trace approach to visiting the park. Take only photos, like you said. But in the back of my head, I was like, who's taking something and then admitting to it by mailing it back?
Because it's like haunting
and
them.
Why? Yeah.
They're like, this nail is not worth it.
Yes, that's literally what's happening.
So smart.
So legend says that those who take a piece of Bodie home with them report a string of bad luck until they return the stolen item. Mm-hmm. The museum on property has a ledger of returned items and displays letters from the thieves explaining why they are sorry.
Nice.
Consequences include injuries, health issues, tax investigations, car repairs, fires, fights, and divorces. A show called American Supernatural did a whole episode on it with lots of interviews from visitors and staff recounting experiences.
Fantastic.
You can find it on YouTube. Yes. Highly recommend. I'm not going to share all of it, obviously.
Yeah. I could probably sit and read those letters for at least 4 hours.
It was like a 3-inch thick binder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to obviously share every single story, but I'm going to share a couple. And actually, I got most of these from this website, Legends of America. Mm-hmm. They did an article on the Curse of Bodie and then had a little thing at the bottom where they were like, if you have an experience, email it to us and we'll post it. So people sent in their own experiences with it, and that's where I got these from. So the first one comes from Linda Reed, who said that she didn't know that there was a curse. Mm-hmm. She saw, they have signs up, please don't take anything.
Things, yeah.
So she ignored it along with her husband, and they took some nails, some glass. She said she even took a piece of linoleum from one of the houses that you could go into.
Damn, Linda.
Yeah.
Greedy.
Yeah, right. People just be taking stuff as they can. And she said it wasn't long after that the bad luck started. She wrenched her knee just standing up, from a chair.
I mean, I can confirm that.
Mm-hmm. But it was so swollen that she had to take an ambulance to the emergency room.
Oh my God.
Where they extracted 37 cc's of blood.
That feels like a lot.
Yeah, that they have to run tests on. And then she said, a few days ago, I broke a tooth. And then yesterday, I broke my entire bridge work.
Oh.
Which the dentist said no one ever does. She broke the metal base of the bridge work.
Oh my God. That's for the linoleum, Linda.
Yeah, right?
Each injury is for a different item that you took.
Literally, yeah, probably. She said, I watched the Weather Channel's program about the Bodie curse and finally realized what was happening. I've already packaged the pieces from Bodie and will mail them to the Rangers tonight.
So, but her husband also took stuff. Did she mention anything for him?
I guess she put it in her purse, maybe.
Oh, Linda.
Oh, Linda, listen. Linda, listen. Okay, another story was from the America's Supernatural episode, and one of the rangers talked about how she was contacted by this guy who said that even before it became a state park, they lived in a town fairly close, and his mother played the piano, but they couldn't afford a piano, and they knew that there was one in Old Bodie. So they just brought a truck and came and took it.
Bold.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to defend because, taking stuff. But like at the time, it was not a park. It was not a museum. It truly was an abandoned piano.
Okay.
Just on private property.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a little bit better, but not a lot.
Yeah. So they load up this piano, take it home. And then he calls her, like now that it's a park, he calls her and he's like, we want to bring this back. Can you come and get it? And they were like, and he tells them it has haunted their family for years. People have gotten sick, divorced. He said the breaking point was that his daughter had just been diagnosed with leukemia. And she said she was convinced that if they did not agree to come get it, that he was just going to come dump it in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So like people believe this.
Yeah. When you're talking about stuff like that, you're not taking chances. Like, yeah, maybe it is the piano. I'm gonna go take it back just to be safe. Like,
it's not gonna hurt to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Not gonna make anything worse. So the final story I'm gonna share is from Carissa Gardner, and she visited back in, I think, 2013. And so she knew about the curse and everything. So she tells her family, she's like, y'all, we're not messing with it. Don't take anything.
Don't be taking stuff.
Like they get back to the car and she's searching her kids' pockets. She's like, turn out your pockets. Nobody's taking anything.
Good for you, Carissa.
And she's like, I wasn't going to mess with it. I always wanted to see it. Like having a fun day there, have a picnic, leave. And then she says, when we arrived home, my husband had a purple piece of glass and a blue and a green and a few other glass pieces.
That son of a bitch.
I was like, why did you do that? And she was like, I was mad, but I just let it go because I'm not that superstitious.
Or she wasn't. I bet she is now.
The very next day, her back hurts so badly that she goes to the doctor, and he says that she has a disc slightly out of alignment. So he gives her Valium to like relax her so the next day he can fix it.
Yeah.
So she goes home, takes the Valium, her first time taking it, and then gets violently ill and restless. Oh. She gets a migraine. Her back hurts even more. She makes her husband take her to the hospital, and they had to give her a shot of Demerol.
Ooh.
And they told her at the ER that she had a really bad sinus infection. So then she goes back to her doctor for the adjustment, tells him what happened, and he said 1 in 2,000 people have the opposite reaction to what Valium is supposed to do. And then he was like,
congratulations.
You're so messed up right now. I'm not even going to bother with your back.
Yeah.
And she said that her migraine was so bad she was wearing sunglasses indoors.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Yeah. So for the next 4 days, she was bedridden because of her back and how sick she was.
Oh, my God.
And then she gets over that. They go out with their kids, have some fun, and they get home that night. They decide to go swimming because it's so hot. And her 6-year-old son grabbed her oldest son's EpiPen, messing around with it, and accidentally discharges it, shooting it through his finger.
Ooh.
So they have to go back to the hospital.
Oh, my God.
She said, my son was okay, but if the EpiPen had not gone all the way through, he would have lost his finger. Which I'm assuming means, because I actually just read a thing about EpiPens today. When you inject them, you have to hold them there for a minimum of 10 seconds to like let the medicine go in. Let all the stuff go through. Yeah. So I'm assuming because it went through so quickly, essentially he stuck a needle through his finger, but he didn't get the actual medication. Yeah. Like the adrenaline shot didn't go in him. Yeah. Which was lucky at least. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's what she meant by that. And then she said 2 more days went by. Okay. At this point, she's blaming it on her husband.
I would have been doing it long before then.
And she was like, we want to take it back to the post office and mail this stuff back. But she didn't have time to get to the post office because she's getting ready for a baby shower or whatever.
Listen, friend.
Yeah,
Pregnant friend. You got to wait.
So they're doing all of this stuff, getting ready for the baby shower, and her kids are playing, and her daughter is climbing a tree.
Oh, no.
Falls out of the tree.
God.
And it hurts her arm. And so her mom is like, you've broken your arm. Like, I know that you've broken your arm. I have to take you to the hospital. She takes her. The doctor's like, no, it's probably just bruised. And she's like, no, we're cursed. Yeah. X-ray it. So they do. And they're like, okay, yes.
Sure enough.
You've broken your arm. So she's in a sling for 5 weeks with a broken humerus.
Not humerus.
And she said, that was it for me. The next morning, I got that glass, picked it up with a paper towel because I did not want to touch it. Stuck it in an envelope, called Bodie, got the address, and as soon as the post office opened, I took it down and sent it back.
Like priority shipping overnight.
Yep. Within a 10-day period, they went to the hospital 3 times.
Oh, my God. Okay, and if I may, once again, I did not hear about anything happening to the husband, who is the motherfucker who took the stuff.
Well, he's the one who's going to be paying those ambulance and hospital bills.
I don't care. Something should have happened to him. Like a paper cut or a stub toe. Like something.
Well, he had to deal with his family blaming him for everything.
I would still be blaming him to this day. And I would
I'm not going to argue with you.
Depending on how far away we were, I don't think mailing it back would be enough for me. Like, get in the car. We are leaving right now. But then maybe you have a crowd. Oh, God. What do you do?
Yeah.
You don't take the stuff. That's what you do.
There was one lady in the episode that was like, she was a citizen of Bridgeport, which is the town close to Bodie. And she was like, one time somebody mailed me a nail. I just got a little package with a little square nail in it, and it was just addressed to Bodie. But they sent it to my house. It's like, okay, well, I guess somebody was desperate.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So that's The Curse of Bodie.
Man.
And I'm going to finish off with a quote from an LA Times article in 1997.
Okay.
Where they interviewed, different staff there. And I'm going to read this whole quote. I've been living here 11 years and I've never smelled any garlic or seen any ghosts, says Walt Stone, a park worker, standing outside the Mendocini home where he lives during the summer. But a lot of people see things, hear things, smell things. There is a mood to this place, he adds. Probably the closest I've ever come is working on some of the buildings in the late fall when nobody's around. You start putting nails in some siding and you can feel something. It's like, I want to do this really well and make no mistakes because these buildings almost have a life of their own. You can feel the presence of the people who lived here.
Yeah.
End quote. And that is the gold mining ghost town of Bodie, California.
Very nice. Very interesting.
Yeah.
They got a lot going on in Bodie.
Yeah, more than I was expecting when I started. Definitely recommend digging in a little bit more. There was a lot of interesting, gold rush history I didn't get into.
For sure.
And then those experiences with the curse, and there's more to dig into. But it's already been an hour, so.
Yeah. We know our limits.
Yeah. You got anything to throw in there?
I don't think so. Just,
Can I answer all your questions?
I think so. I'm definitely never taken anything from a place that I'm explicitly told not to.
Yeah, I do feel kind of bad because I have taken something from a cemetery before. But in my defense, I did ask for permission.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and there weren't signs and warnings everywhere explicitly saying, don't take any of this stuff.
Well, and it was specifically from a part of the cemetery that was getting replaced.
Yeah.
So, it was fully going to be thrown out.
Yeah, it was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's completely different.
It was like a little ring from, an iron gate. And I was like, cemetery iron? That's consecrated iron, baby.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt to take some of that, just in case.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have it in case I need it.
Just in case.
You never know. It's one of those things that you don't need until you really need it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, on that note, please nobody call the cops on me for
I'm going to call
taking
right now.
piece of offense. Well, so that's all we got.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for listening. If you would like to, you can follow us on our social medias. They are at egags podcast. That's EGAGS podcast. We also have a website of the same name. And of course, you can email us at egagspodcast@gmail.com. If you have any spooky supernatural experiences of your own, have you ever gotten cursed? Let us know.
Did you take something from Bodie? We would love to hear about it.
Fess up. We're not gonna. Well, we'll judge you, but we won't call the cops on you. So.
Yeah, that's a fair balance. Yes, we judge. No, we don't narc.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Potential podcast tagline. We judge. We don't narc.
Make a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Add it on the merch list.
Yes.
Okay. And yep. Thanks for listening. That's all I got.
All right.
As always, this is Everybody's Got a Ghost Story.
What's yours?